Welcome back, everyone. Here we are on map 2 Mirage, the pick of ESC Gaming as they do trail one map here against PiTER in the lower bracket round 2 of the European CEVO-M playoffs. So someone possibly going home after this map. If ESC Gaming want to stay in and want to move on, they'll have to win Mirage and they'll have to win that third decider map of Train. But onto the pistol we go, and it looks like already moving over towards A on this T side, ESC. A bit of a set strat coming out, or just some set smokes rather, maybe to get the bomb down.
Yeah, somewhat similar in some aspects to how they approach the cash T side as well on pistol, and that's just to charge in on one side, other than just a few more smokes thrown in. But there's face crack with the USP, opens things up nicely. Now the issue for the terrorists is you can get the bomb down, that's fine, but you've got to stop the retake from coming in, and they are failing in that right now. Maddie's the last player, he's only got 5 HP, and he has to just back on off. And there is a defuse kit in the hands of Spiker, so this should be an easy round. There we go, PiTER. As I say, you can rush onto that site, you can get the smokes down, but it's how you react after the smoke's clear, after the bomb's planted, that counts from the team's perspective. And ESC, I mean, they just got wrecked afterwards.
Yeah, it's very hard to hold that A site. I mean, they threw the majority of the smokes, probably all of their smokes, just, you know, jungle, connector. I wasn't even 100% if they smoked off CT, but I would assume they would have. You throw those smokes just to get out onto the site, get the bomb down, but even then, it's still very hard to plant in a open spot, just because someone could peek a smoke randomly and kill you while planting if you're trying to then defend from A main or from the connector. Just planting in the back of the site, there's nowhere to go as a terrorist, and then the CT pistols come in long range, and here they go again, swarming into the A site, just trying to get the bomb down, and it looks like they will once again get it down. Face crack, you know, executes him pretty much immediately after that bomb got planted. And to me, what the point I was trying to make is it looked like the first round strat was literally, let's just get the bomb down. I don't think that's a strat on a terrorist pistol that is going to win you the round.
I agree. It's kind of, again, it's rolling the dice after that bomb's planted. Is can you get those, you know, those one taps? Which, to be fair, Glock versus USB for me is just a much better pistol. I think it's
almost like too much better.
Yeah.
Too much better? Is that even proper English? I don't know.
I know what you were going for. Or maybe a bit too OP in some aspects, but you know, it's a rough one. It really is. But as you say, they get the bomb plant, they get the second bomb plant as well, which gives them a fantastic buy up here in round number 3. But look at face crack. He's pushing right through mid, getting information with one of his teammates. The problem here, though, is that ESC, I should say, are just stacking in ramp and now pushing. Nice into the tongue there. That's a good one.
Yeah, it was nice. Freudian. Yeah, they throw that smoke, actually, the terrace on the end of Catwalk. They're like, hey, like, get used to the smoke being here, blocking your vision, but it's kind of just to fake them out, as they, once again, go for a very fast A take. Here, the bomb is down. It's a 4-on-4. Site's still going to be hard to hold, but you got a better chance, of course, when you've got the rifles. Face crack, though, going to bring down 2 JMQA. Needs to bring in that from Osprey. He does, but Neeks right to the side of him will find 2 kills on the round, and ESC, you know, there are no other bomb sites on this map. 3 times in a row, and going in, you know, third time, not only being the charm, but also having rifles, it will work out for them.
I do wonder if they're going to fall into a trap that a lot of terrorist sites do, however, which is just going A like 90% of the time. It can work for you, of course, but if PiTER starts to read this, it could get a bit sketchy. That being said, though, it looks like
they're going to be.
Yeah, I like this. It may be called, though, from PiTER. Like, they may think about this.
Fast as well.
Yeah, they're going to catch Spiker really unawares, and he's by himself. There is a player in Kitchen, but there's nothing really that Waterfalls can do about this, so it's a good strat. It's a good execute as well, and that should be a second round for ESC, barring a ridiculous play from PiTER. They may even think about just saving these M4s.
Yeah, they probably should. JMQA getting up into the ladder room, and yeah, they had no idea. Neeks obviously will call it out now. Oh, going in through, okay, at this point, now you've got a 2-on-3, but you still have no kid. You killed a lot of time. You're gearing for exits. Yeah, Dursky's not even on that side of the map. He's hopping around in Palace. And that'll be that on the round. So, you know, that's kind of nice from ESC Gaming. They really conditioned PiTER to just the fast A takes. And I would even say kind of catch them off guard there. Just one player and B also just with a FAMAS. He's trying to fall back. He's trying to stay alive. But, you know, they swarm him real quick. And then Mineo getting through into Kitchen, finding a frag as well. Pretty much sealed up the round.
Yeah, I think it's a really smart call for a couple of reasons as well. You know, ESC, not only do they push it, so they keep PiTER on you know, the edge of their seat. We can't keep stacking it all the time. But they must have realized that if Spiker or whoever the B player was does go for force buy for mass, the chances are he has no grenades. I think he had the flashbang and that was it. So it wasn't even the case that he could drop a grenade in a smoke or a HE and just stop them dead in their tracks. They could rush right through with the flashbangs, get those comfortable frags, and then the round afterwards. So really smart call from ESC.
PiTER have gathered information. They've done their scouting. They pushed up into Palace, saw that no one was there, so they've made the full-on rotation over towards the B site. Repo still lurking around, but now that there's been action over in B, 1-for-1 right there being traded out. And 2 players still lurking around towards A, and it looks like now Repo, he was the flank, now he's on the front lines as they are rotating back. And with a minute left on the clock, bomb to be dropped, spreading out, trying to do a bit of a pick and roll, it would appear. Little did they know if they just swarmed onto the A site, it would have been so easy to take. We'll see what Dursky can do. He's in a great spot to do some damage, and there he goes. He'll bring down Repo, and now, I mean, the jig is pretty much up at this point. The rotation's coming back to A site now. Terrace, though, out a little bit faster.
And they should have the weapon advantage as well. That bomb's being planted, and it will go down, finalized. Phase crack now on the road. Oh, he gets the kill onto Minio, who had the AK, just a USP in his hands. And that pretty much is the round falling out the hands of ESC, and a round that, when they got into that site, I'd have been fancying to have a pretty strong chance at. So, again, not quite paying out for them, and PiTER pick up their 3rd round on, what was it, an M4 and the rest with pistols?
Yeah. And face crack, you know, the rifles betray you when you push through the smoke slow, and just like, oh, hey, top of an AK, I wonder what's behind that. So they just start shooting at it. Of course, there's a person there. So face crack gets a kill, gets an AK, and they are able to close out the round. So that's an unfortunate one for ESC. But I mean, looking into the mid round, I mean, they had a pretty solid idea, right? They thinned out those CT defenses. They had late set smokes to get into the A site, get the bomb down. Unfortunately, they did give up that 1 kill that Dursky, a player with a rifle, found in Palace. And ESC Gaming, I think, a man down when they get the bomb. So they have to do something aggressive, and unfortunately, when you push through the smoke, it didn't work out for them. Always a bit of a coin flip.
Again, that A plant coming into effect. They do get the plant down, but it'll be at the cost of the lives of the terrorists. And I should mention that was a force buy as well. That was a committed round. With the bomb plant, though, it could have been worse from ESC. They did pick up a single frag, however. So PiTER, I think they'll be the happier of the sides, actually, all things considered. Yes, it's a bomb plant, but all 5 players going forward, the economy keeps building. Big. That was a big round for them.
Also, we saw, you know, more depth to the A strats, right? We've seen the standard jungle stairs CT smoke, but that time they put the closer wall where you cut off sandwich to the bomb site. Similar, I guess, I think Navi gets the credit for inventing that one. Although who really knows who did it. But still, that's impressive to see them have all those smokes ready on lock and able to get them out at a moment's notice.
So PiTER now preemptively thinking this could be another B push. We've seen this before. We've seen this pattern. That grenade does so much damage, but JMQA misses out on the frag due to just running out of bullets. Here comes the fast push. Spiker on benches. Can't get anything. Only did a bit of damage to Neeks in the end. So this is already shaping up to be a pretty nice ESC round because they've got 2 M4s in their hands with that post-plant scenario. Here comes Waterfalls. He's got something to say about this, though. Molotovs flying in left, right, and center from the CTs. And the even trades continue. First time that CTs have really been ahead in this round. And Minio, on short, is going to have to push the side. It's being defused. He gets the running Tech 9 shot. And, oh my goodness, Waterfalls comes off the bomb. So that could be the round now going to ESC. Gets the frag. Back to the bomb again. Defusing. And he will have this. So PiTER, just by the skin of their teeth, secure their 5th round. But that was pretty much an eco rush from the T. So really solid round from ESC.
Yeah, Spiker really needed to kill some of those people coming out of those B apartments. He let fly his shots. He did, you know, hit 2 people, but he killed neither of them, and he went down, gave up that gun as well to the player on bench. Made things very, very close, and it's a good thing for PiTER having survived round 6 with everyone alive, because then losing here 4 people into round 7 is tough. Like, only Waterfalls has enough money for anything if they were to lose this one. No, I guess Dursky is doing all right, but JMQA and Spiker are very, very poor. Face crack, though, starting off top of ticket right here. Shutting down the start of ESC's rifle round. This time trying to come up to the A site through the connector. Again, Repo, that man lurking around in Palace, and looks like that nade. That'll be 3 points for JMQA.
Oh, the bomb's been dropped as well, jungle. Repo, well, didn't have a chance to even try and go for it. So as soon as that bomb dropped, that pretty much was the round going the way of the Russians once more. And it has been a much stronger half, I'd say, from ESC compared to what we saw in the beginning of Cash on their CT side. But the issue is that, again, when it's coming down to these close confrontations, PiTER are just winning out. And that was the determining factor on Cash, and it appears to be the case here on Mirage as well.
Yeah. ESC Gaming, like you said, looking a lot better at the start of this. Maybe they just needed to warm up or whatnot. PiTER obviously had played a series before these games. ESC Gaming started off looking, I mean, kind of pathetic there in Cash, but then turned it around very nicely, mainly thanks to Neeks. Pesic, Maddie, and Myneo, though, all getting frags, opening up this A site. It will put PiTER on the back foot. 2 versus 3. Good Molotovs, though, trying to stop that plant. A grenade going to go in as well, and looks like he is on the other side of that box, so able to fall back off, and Myneo remains in Firebox, which is about to live up to its name because it is on fire. Myneo trying to delay peeking, but it's not going to work out for him, and just like that, good use of those nades and that strong CT economy, you know, really coming into effect because you had all those Molotovs to clear out positions without having to put yourself in danger, and they've retaken the site at a man disadvantage.
Yeah, it seems like a really obvious point, you know, that grenades are so essential in CS, but just watch that round back. I mean, you saw the power of grenades there. The grenades by themselves almost won PiTER that round. Just massive.
I thought it was...
Sorry,
I thought it was P90s that were essential to good CS.
Obviously, man. Like five-man stack P90s, let's go. Would make for the worst game ever. I would hate playing that game.
I mean, I still lose to that in matchmaking, so...
Oh, true. 60-40, though. It's
yeah,
just...
the P90 is ridiculous. God,
but,
I'm
I mean,
so upset.
Even though they missed a couple of grenades there, although I'm not sure if missing is the right phrase, because JMQA couldn't see through the smoke. He assumed it was on that side. It just happened to be on the other. They still get the big Molotovs onto Firebox. That draws out players. They get the frags. And now 7-2 the scoreline. ESC do have AKs once more. And it looks as though for the first time we're going to see kind of a split here. Normally they just end up pushing the same site. They don't really go for the fakes. And maybe that's something we need to see more from ESC.
Yeah, I mean, they had like a couple smokes from spawn to middle. You can kind of say that's a bit of a fake. And then they just put 5 rushing A earlier on in the half. But yeah, now, I mean, we just saw ESC Gaming lose when they had the man advantage, and now they're the man disadvantage, and they've got to try to fight back into this round. I think it's going to be very tough for them based on what we've seen, and we've got a strong setup here. Mid is completely covered. You've got basically 2 at A, 1 middle, 1 on Cat, and 1 over to B, and I would classify that as a little heavier on your mid control than you would normally see, but... It's an A take. Repo evens it right back up. 4-on-4 now trying to cross. Wow, Waterfalls will miss his shot and it's brought down almost immediately. But Dursky making up for that, finding a quick 3K. And there it is. 3 surviving for PiTER in round 8 for them. They officially have won the half.
Some great grenades there coming in. I think it was Waterfalls at the back of CT boxes. Like, even though he didn't get any kills, he threw down Molotov smoke and a HE that stopped the T's from pushing him for a few more seconds. I think they may have even used one of their smokes just to neutralize and extinguish the Molotov in the first place. So he did his job. No kills, unsung hero for him. Dursky, beautiful frags. And I think JMQA got 2 as well, so full house of frags for them. But now you see again with the round loss bonus and the fact that they are on the T side, it's going to be AKs all the way from here on in, probably, unless they want to rush in with an AWP. But judging by their strats, I don't think an AWP would necessarily work. They typically just go for the set plays through the smokes. Yeah,
they're going a little too fast. They put an AWP on the T side. It's going to slow things down and change the dynamic of what ESC has been doing entirely. Then again, Neeks has just been nuts with it. Unfortunately, trying to work out towards the A ramp. A bit of an aggressive push here from the CTs means, well, they're all dead. There's blood everywhere. It's like, is this CSGO or is this Hotline Miami that I'm watching right now? I don't even know. Repo, though, finding 1 out of Palace. And another. A 1-on-2 now, and he's actually still in good standing in terms of HP. Well, was. And this nade might just be the 3 points. What?
What happened there?
I don't know, man. Nades need fixed.
I was watching from JMQA's perspective, and as you said, that's probably the grenade landing. I'm thinking, yep, round over. No, apparently not. Did it land on just like the slight wall between? I assume
Yeah,
that
it
was
might
the
have been
only way
like
he survived.
behind the corner, or like under a inch of plywood. Like I don't even know. Only doing what was that, 15 or 14 damage that nade?
Yeah, I thought he was a dead man for sure.
Tech9's pushing that smoke on catwalk right into waterfalls. A further smoke down will allow them to get close quarters with JMQA, who will not be missing his shot. Pulls out a pistol versus a pistol, and he wins out 3 kills for him, and double digits now in the first half here for PiTER.
I'm not even sure what to say here about ESC's attack. I mean, they've tried, they've got through onto the sites, but again, it comes down to the retakes from PiTER have been way too strong. And finally, we do see an AWP in the hands of Neeks. So clearly, they're thinking, okay, let's mix it up a tiny bit here. Let's put it back onto a player that was doing fantastically on Cash. 6 for 11, not having the greatest game here, Neeks, but I kind of empathize with this situation. Occupying mid, 3 players in mid. They've got the one coming up through underpass, which is Matty, and then Repost is chilling out onto ramp. But you look at the player of Dursky, he's getting so much info. He's pushed through Palace, and this is allowing the CTs to just lock down in mid, and Waterfalls picks off the AWP. So, well, it just hasn't paid off for them either. Maybe they can get some return frags though in the process. So far, it's looking good for PiTER. Dink onto Matty, he's been dropped. And now it's all on Tesek, who is top of mid behind the boxes. For how long though? Not too much longer. There we go. Dursky went all the way around the back of T-Spawn and reaped the rewards in the end. 11-2 now for PiTER.
Waterfalls and JMQA just terrorizing those terrorists in the middle there, as they were obviously taking it slower, trying to let Neeks open up the picks. Neeks saw one, went for a re-peek into the CT, and Waterfall shot him down early, and then, you know, just timing their peeks one after the another from up in the ladder room or cat and window. It was a little too much for ESC. So 11 for PiTER right now, and ESC obviously are going to be buying pretty much every round, at least Tech9 armors, and this time into AK armor and a decent amount of grenades. And again, even without the op taking it a little bit slower, Neeks this time will hit the entry. Funny that he brings down the opper this time with the AK.
They just got to convert these entry picks. They haven't been failing as a lack of entries. They've been getting lots of entries on Mirage and on Cash as well. It's just what happens after that. Maybe it's the shot quality, maybe it's adapting to the scenario that they're facing off against. This round is looking a lot better for them. 2 players picked off from PiTER. Neeks is down to 16, but that's still very much workable. JMQA, he's lurking, does get one, gets traded out. And surely ESC are going to have their 3rd round on the board, especially as Spiker misses a huge opportunity there. They pretty much lined up for him at one point. And now it's all on face crack. And the fact is, they have so much money and only 2 rounds to play. Well, 1 round after this. There's no reason for him not to go for this defuse.
Honestly, this could even, like, 11-2 is bad, and it's about to be 11-3, obviously. Face crack should not be able to do this, but it could have been even worse. It could be 11, well, I guess it wouldn't be 11 in that case. It would be 13-1. Spiker's been like non-existent this match, and he's failed to even get a kill on a lot of the rounds where they have gone B, and that's where they've lost, I think, all of the rounds, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. That
no,
sounds...
sorry. The third round and the first round that ESC got was quick at A, then they went right over to B, where Spiker failed to hold on, and then that last round, he was aiming a little high. I mean, that player peeked him with 19 HP, and he wasn't able to get at least 1 kill.
Definitely disappointing, especially considering it on Cash. He pulled off some crazy plays, like clutch plays. But I guess the rest of his team has been performing so strong that it hasn't really mattered that much. Sure, 11-3, maybe 11-4 at a push is workable for ESC if they can pick up the pistol, but it looks like this could even go 12-3 here, as PiTER have the advantage once more. Both players from ESC are very low, pushing onto the site. Spiker, this is time to make amends, but misses a no-scope. Not the easiest situation to be in. At least he's going to call out for his teammates, and they're going to rotate back round to B.
Maybe he didn't have the info of how low they were, because trying for the no-scope when probably should have just pulled out that pistol. Both of them almost one shot at that point. But now it's 2-on-2, and there's a chance to win here. Oh, no. Oh, sorry, my Neo is on the same team. I was thinking that was the CT coming off a cat. So they'll be fine. Dursky over in kitchen, and JMQ actually very far away, still in those B halls. My Neo lurking around really hard. and he will be able to bring down Dursky. His position now known. JMQA. Okay, I didn't know if he was going to run past and go CT. I think he'll try to fight my Neo here. There he goes. He'll scurry by. Smokes off. Good smoke. That'll force my Neo to go right through it. JMQA should just be able to turn and watch it. Oh my gosh, little does he know. He's aimed right on him, and there he goes. He'll see the feet or the barrel coming through. Maybe just hears the steps. No kit, though. Does he still have this? It's going to be really close.
Very, very close. I think he's just...
Oh, no, he's a second off.
Oh, he has him. Oh, dear me. Very, very unfortunate. And hold on a second. They had way more than enough money to get defuse kits across everybody. They had like $4,000 or $5,000 left at the end of that round.
Well, sometimes you forget to hit that bind.
Deary me. It may not seem like much, but 4 rounds as opposed to 3 is pretty massive, especially if the ESC win this pistol. That round could have made all the difference. We're just going to have to see. It could be very well that PiTER just rushed through, get the pistol, and finish this 16-4. In which case, that mattered very little. But these are pretty big mistakes. You know, it's this essential basics of Counter-Strike. If you have enough for a defuse kit, especially if you've got full grenades as well, and you've got more than enough in the last round, there's no reason you shouldn't be buying that.
Yeah, there might even have been one around, which even if it took him a second to pick up, still would have had enough then starting the bomb with 5 seconds. But end of the second half, and let's see. I mean, will ESC Gaming be able to find a foothold and fight their way back to a near overtime, like back into the double digits? Or, like you said, will it just be PiTER storming and taking the 16-4? Those early nades, they're going to hurt out FaceCrack. Repo going to grab one. Oh, so blind, that second player trying to come out. Spiker finally started things off with an entry. 2-on-4 now, and you know, again, a similar strat. A little slower, but the smokes come out. They will leave CT clear as they probably wanted to try to push through. And it looks like Neeks finds one either through a gap or just with a bit of luck through the smoke. Now Waterfall's alone, and he'll be shot down in the back. Neeks with a triple and Repo starting it off with a double. And there it is, pistol round 2, ESC.
That's the first tick in the box, and it was a much more confident round from ESC. I'm not sure how much you can take out of that pistol round, because obviously, again, you're fancying USBs to rain out on top of the Glocks in those scenarios, but yeah, at least it gives them some confidence. It gives them something to work with. It's going to be Tech 9s and also the Kevlar here from PiTER. They're rushing in. You can see Nick's been dropped to 9. They're just going right for the jugular. They have lost the first player and the second as well, so it's not looking good for PiTER, but at least they've done damage to Neeks, and if they can get themselves a kill or two, this could get interesting.
They're going for that Tech 9 armor. And running it up through middle somewhat quickly. Doesn't quite work out for them. Spike now the last one left. Unable to do anything, so everyone living for ESC means, you know, no rebuying of the essentials like those kits and armor. So that'll help bolster their economy. And with that force, it'll be PiTER having to go for that full eco. Maybe we'll see any smokes, anything. Maybe just a chance to try to get that bomb down. But no, nothing for them. Maybe it'll be a quick rush, some information gathering, perhaps.
It appears to be. All 5 players are going to be plowing out of Palace. Walking in now. They have no flashes, no smokes. It's just going to be an all-out rush. 2 players to find and frag here. Repo and Matty. And here we go. Repo caught with his nade out. Not going to make any difference, though. Matty's somehow still alive. He's been put down. The bomb will not be planted today. JMQA picked off from Repo. He gets his 3rd. And only 1 kill in retaliation. So solid round there from ESC. And now the AWP coming in as they upgrade their weapons. As they know, the AK-47s aren't going to be working against them.
If Nix turns it on again with his op, now switching over to the CT side, because that's what carried them through that first half of Cash. It was, you know, they had 1 round to the 9 of PiTER, but Nix was somehow able to claw it back. This one was obviously, well, wasn't that much closer. In some respects, I guess the first half was even worse, but now you are getting back to where it's somewhat a close game. The first rifle could perhaps determine it here. Oh, FaceCrack, he did spot the barrel, but Nix is too quick.
Fantastic shot. And as you say, he's clearly very, very comfortable on CT side with the AWP. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to highlight that not buying that defuse kit could cost PiTER so bad right now. That being said, there's still a lot of way between now and the end of this map. And PiTER, although they have lost the first player, we saw this a lot on Cash as well, and they still managed to pull it out of the what seemed to be an impossible situation. Tesek pushing through short. He should get the upper hand onto Dursky. There we go. I'm not expecting that. Gets forced through the smoke, and a second kill for him. Very well held by Tesek. This is looking a lot more confident from ESC. Almost a different team for the CT side we saw on Cash.
I mean, it is generally thought of as that CT map, not quite 11-4, more along the lines of like 9-6. Although you will see terrorist teams, you know, storm out and dominate. Obviously, I mean, it looked like ESC was very prepared. They had quite a few like quick set strats. They got the bomb down like literally almost every single round. At least it felt that way at the start. No, pretty much every single round they got that bomb down. It was always just like the post plant, the late round where PiTER then struggled, or excuse me, ESC then struggled. But now coming over to the defense, it's been a bit of a different story. They're able to lock down that first rifle round, and they are closing this gap very, very quickly. Perhaps we will still see Train.
They're closing it quickly, but also confidently with weapons in hand. They've only lost 2 players in the entirety of their CT side thus far, which allows them to build the economy, as you can see. This is a force-up with Tech 9s and armor. And again, this is looking like it could be a round without any losses. There's the Tech 9 landing from Dursky onto Sandwich. Bombs were planted. In the meanwhile, Dursky looking for his second. I'm not sure who that player was on Toll Booth, but he was dancing.
There.
Yeah, dancing for his life. And he did. Repo. Okay, it just about saved himself. So that only 3 players dropped in 5 rounds from ESC. I mean, that's a real solid start for them. And PiTER, they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. They will be able to buy AKs. I'm pretty sure they're around loss, and the fact that they did get that bomb down. Yeah, it's going to be AKs with an AWP as well.
And again, confidence. ESC Gaming on the A site. I mean, they're playing so far back. They're not worried about these smokes. They're throwing some counter flashes in there just to deter them a little bit, but very confident on the retakes. And when they go for it, Repo up on top of that ticket booth, getting 3, and then doing a bit of a dance for everybody to see. Able to get that one. Neeks, early damage onto Dursky. And Maddie with the first kill now onto Spiker. Oh, that Molotov, unfortunately, going to land inside of that smoke. Over here from Dursky. Player has pushed Cat and was able to fall back. Dursky lucky to be alive on 1 HP.
Very fortunate, but that may be all he needs. And Tesek again. Oh, Waterfalls with a flick shot. I mean, it is a bit telegraphed. As soon as that smoke comes down, it's a pretty frequently used spot. In the meantime, though, my Neo is going to take down JMQA, who was pushing through the apps. And even though it's a 3-on-2, there's not a lot of HP on the Russians, but they have got that trade-off 1-for-1 in the meanwhile. 53 seconds. Bomb is heading towards B. Will be planted. Yeah. And now it's all on Repo. It does have 100% of his HP remaining, as opposed to the 1 and 34 on the Russian team. But still, this is going to be rough. If they get the crossfire down, he should be dead, but he goes peeking in mid. And now Dursky has to clutch this with 1 HP.
I mean, it makes sense. Waterfalls has the op. He did see that player in Repo in the A site, and he went back to hold the angle. It's more crazy that Repo was able to find that angle and just peek it so quickly. Obviously, he's got to go for 1 of the kills, just because it was a 1v2, and it looks like he has run out of time, so Dursky, even with 1 HP, is able to just, you know, ring around the bomb site. And of course, Repo had to hunt that earlier frag, so he wasted time on his way over. Well, I guess wasted is a harsh term. He needed to do it. Runs out, and PiTER will find their first round on T side.
Point for PiTER, though, is even though they do win the round, they win it with losing every player, so their economy is not good enough to support full AKs for another AWP or even that many grenades. It's 3 gills in actual fact with 2 AKs, so even though PiTER win the round, they're way behind in weaponry. You can see the value at the top of the screen there. Got $13,000 in difference. 2 AWPs on the side of ESC. Huge.
Yeah, that's a crazy difference. And it'll be Neeks to peek out. They did go for the double ops. Neeks and MyNeo. I don't think we've seen MyNeo really pick it up. But Neeks still delivering what we expect from him. Finds that first frag, face crack, try to push through the smoke in connector. Oh, actually, the player has pushed him. And he will be checking all of his corners. Tesek able to bring down Dursky. And everything falling apart there towards middle. It'll be JMQA left alone in underpass. We'll try to get back up towards that bomb. And there's MyNeo finding 2 kills with his op. Had dropped, I think, the previous bomb carrier up there as well. And now they are within 2 here.
They've definitely clawed this back. PiTER, I mean, surely you just go for a full eco. Maybe there would be a temptation to go for sort of P250s with armor, but I like the fact they've gone for the eco here. It's a smart play. They may even have to go for 2 ecos in a row. Unless they can get this bomb planted. Bonus. Yeah, they lost the bonus, they lost their lifeline. So really they need this bomb desperately.
Neek's now getting very, very aggressive. Probably expecting the Glock train somewhere, which, I don't know. To me, it almost seems like that's crazy. You maybe have like a chance for a double if you peek they're all lined up. But to do that, able to get 1. He actually did find 2, but bit suicidal. Money though still good, and they will drop him an op back.
Wow. Okay. So they're going for the force. I originally thought they'd go for the double eco to make sure they had like solid weapons, but maybe they're just going for broke here. I mean, the round loss will be starting to kick in soon. If they can get this plant down, then it doesn't really matter that much. They've gone for the force here. But of course, if they get shut down with authority, then this could be right back to the drawing board. Back grenade. However, has missed from Tessic. Yeah, and that was pretty huge. Is it going to matter though? Because he's getting the spray down and he's not been punished just yet. 36 HP remaining for him. Phasecraft finally gets his first on the board. Looking for that second. Still hasn't taken it down. Tessic just dancing back and forth on short pillars. But Spiker now, they know exactly where he is. The bomb's dropped to his left-hand side and he has to go in. He can't afford to play passive anymore. So they didn't get that bomb planted. Even though they did get a couple kills. And their economy, you can see, it's going to be another force.
2 kills aren't enough. I mean, you need at least 3 to really hurt a CT squad. And, I mean, this CT squad's got repo at 16k. So it's not going to matter too much. Things have tied up, and like you said, the bonus, I mean, with the bomb plan, it would have been fine for PiTER with the losing bonus and the $800 coming in, but even now, still, again, a decent attempt. 2 Tech 9s. They even have an op. That'll be Glass Cannon here for Waterfalls. He needs to try to step up and get a kill. His opting on cashing was a bit iffy. He did hit shots. He was top fragging in the server for a while, but it didn't look like a super convincing top frag to me.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. Missed a lot in mid, in particular on that boost. But who knows? Maybe he's going to start to find his form now. That started incredibly well for PiTER, but suddenly, in a heartbeat, Repo and Matty answer back with a vengeance. My Neo's going to get forced down from that Tech 9. Gets dinked 2 HP to his name.
Oh,
That's
no
all
scope,
he needs. And a second as well. As soon as I see him get dinked, I'm thinking, okay, PiTER have a really good chance at this round again. And now, nope. My Neo with the beautiful double. Leaves Waterfalls. The Glass Cannon AWP. So, I mean, this is not looking good at all. Not just for PiTER, not just for Waterfalls in this round, but for the entire map.
Yeah, it seems like at this point, well, not even at this point, a little prior to this point. Whoa, what a shot for Waterfalls. Even fighting the aim punch there to land that one. He took that first shot without armor, but it's looked for a while now that it looks like ESC should be taking over the CT side and closing it out. Are there going to be any adjustments to be made from PiTER? There's still 1 loss from getting their max bonus, and time ticking down, so he will extend it. Another 35 seconds at least. Can he hit these shots? They're both coming from market, but Waterfall's got no idea.
Such a smart play from the CTs here, and they are going to get the frag. What I love about that play is that even though that AWP, I think it was my Neo, saw down short that he did spot Waterfalls crossing, but didn't push in. Realizing he has the AWP still, it's better to go together as a 2-man death squad, because then even if even if Waterfalls lands a sick no-scope, the chances are he's going to get traded out and the ESC pick up the round anyway. So really smart play from them. And, well, for the first time, they move ahead now, 13-12. I think this is the first time they've been ahead in this map, with all the rounds that they've got on the CT side.
They were tied briefly going into round 5, but at that point, that's where PiTER just, turned it on. Let's see. I mean, maybe PiTER are able to get some rounds. I mean, this is potential for, your full 30 rounds, maybe even OT. And as I say that, well, there was a 1-for-1, but then my Neo with his op, which apparently is also still quite good, pretty much gave them that last round. If it wasn't for those 2 kills he got, if he fell, probably would have been PiTER with a 13-12 here. Matty, though, another kill, this time pushing through Palace. He finds Spiker. And now it is just up to Dursky and Waterfalls again.
Really does seem that ESC have finally woken up from their slumber. Everybody's aim is starting to come in now. And they're getting these aim duels down time and time again, which was one of the main lacking points of their cash performance. But here we go, Dursky. He's going to get caught
On the
napping.
same exact spot.
Yeah, the same spot. And maybe that was kind of unexpected, because typically players will move after getting a kill. But either way, nice play. And there goes the Kobe. Repo and Matty both chiming in to get the kill. And ESC, I mean, they're walking away with this right now. Out of, what, the 11 rounds on CT side, they've won 10 of them. That is a shutdown if ever I've seen one.
Absolutely. PiTER, they had bought down. Almost everyone was at $0 or $50, so just a little over 3,400 coming in per player on this one, which means AK no nades, Tech 9 with nades, that's JMQA, and Galil in a smoke for face crack. So trying to just get by with bare minimum. I mean, it makes sense because at this point you're in a bind to win. They weren't trying to go for the OT here. They either want to close it out or kind of just want to forget about it and move on the train. Nice pop flash and some aggressive CT action up there in middle. But for the first time that I can even recall, Repo will go down first over at A, and PiTER now with the man advantage. Things were going so smoothly for ESC. We'll see how they fare when the C's perhaps get a bit rougher.
Yeah, the problem in this round as well is it was pretty key players that were taken down. It was mid and A. So instantly they have to go for this over-rotation because they're fearing this full-on A push, and in doing so they have left B completely open, and B is an incredibly rough site to retake when your player's down, and it's just got a whole lot worse. Spiker with a headshot onto my Neo, so maybe there is another couple chapters to be written in this book between ESC and PiTER. Well, they haven't got the best post-plant positions, but the fact that they've just picked up Tesek, I mean, that's it. Neeks can't afford to go for this. He wants to save the AWP. A couple of exits would be fantastic, but twitched at the end there, I think, just a tiny bit. And the second time as well, JMQA with the Tech 9 headshot gives PiTER only their second round on T side.
If I could get in the nice shot there from my Neo. All right. If they're still willing to compliment the other team, they must still be feeling confident in themselves. On the side of ESC. Still have the money, obviously, to fuel this round, get the op back in the hand of Neeks, but this time PiTER looking a bit stronger, and Waterfall's GMQA going for that double op setup. Waterfalls will peek out, he'll bring down Neeks, and is it really going to fall apart here in the last couple rounds for ESC? Again, they'll start off man disadvantaged in round 28.
Well, we saw in Cash it was when we got down to the pressure situations that ESC really struggled, and maybe, and it's going to prove to be a reoccurring theme. Matty with the pop flash, face crack, he is able to just about survive, and the spray in effect. So ESC, who looks so strong, they're crumbling. I think this would be the first time we've had an all-out victory. Yeah, you look at the previous rounds. This is the first time that PiTER have kept 5 players alive on their T side after winning a round. So, I mean, talk about performing when it counts. We're getting down to the last couple rounds, and finally PiTER...
And now the money's collapsed on the side of ESC as well.
Unreal. The old sucker punch.
My Neo could, like, still buy a rifle and at least a vest. He'll go Deagle vest. You know, sometimes that can be just as good. And here you go, all right. Deagle and some upgraded pistols. Again, you know, some people have been making the comparison, and I would agree to it. I think it was Devilwalk that said, you know, the Deagle's kind of like the pistol equivalent of the Scout. And you got these other pistols to kind of try to bring in those assists, finish the kills that the Deagle couldn't. But now FaceCrack bringing down Matty. And Matty, man, he was just so confident in that connector. How many times did he flash that smoke, push through it, and kill the player in there? And then that round, you know, just after a loss, it doesn't work. They lose another. Money's collapsed. And now it's going to be PiTER getting the match point first. Woo!
Ooh.
One dig, though. Oh,
Okay,
now he's got it. One dig with a follow-up kill. Like, all right.
Made it expensive, but again, there's no hope of him securing that round without a defuse kit or nades. And he was walking into 2 up, so I mean, nice try for my Neo. Not going to be good enough, though. And of course, even though it was expensive, they got more than enough money to buy up in this last round. So really, it was just flashy frags at the end of the day. ESC do have a decent buy-up. In fact, it's more than decent. It's a solid buy-up with Neeks on that AWP. So it's far from over just yet. And even though PiTER have picked up 3 in a round, remember that TTs for 90% of this CT side have been fantastically powerful.
And there's Maddie once again off to a good start. Oh, if Neek stands up though. Oh, the barrel was spotted. JMQA trying to shoot it, and Neeks, the call was there. Like, hey, he's there. It's all his barrel. FaZeCrack able to peek out and get that kill from the catwalk though. Now trying to get that trade by killing FaZeCrack. He exposes himself to the op of JMQA, and he'll go down. And Maddie getting the first pick, but it's still PiTER in a 4-on-3. They've got the man advantage. Spiker hasn't been so hot this game, and opportunity to get some frags, but instead he'll be passive. He'll fall back, and he's actually still just lurking. He's holding 2 people in that A site, just just by having made noise and been spotted by Maddie. Now my Neo, and not really the best spot to hold on to this B site.
Does get some significant damage down though, but not the kill. That's the important part. Oh, and again,
wow, more
just doing
damage.
so much damage. Dirksky still alive though in the B apps. My Neo finally gets his man after the second or third time of asking. JMQA with a Tech 9 headshot, pulls out the orb. It's a 1-on-1. It comes right down to this. Spike has been tagged, 11 HP, but Maddie can't finish him off. He's been running through. There's the USP headshot. Does he have enough time? He should do, even without the defuse, and we will be heading to overtime. So I'm just going to say it again. JMQA, you have that defuse kit in the first half, we're all done.
Yeah, that's true. This man was a kid. That would have been it. And even, that changes your mentality just going to the second half when you're losing 12-3. It makes what ESC did that much harder. So, at least now coming into OT, it seems like there's a chance. It hurts PiTER, I think, still a bit more that they were brought to this. But the fact that they were able to step it up, get a couple rounds there at the end, they kind of stole the momentum back, and you might be going into OT kind of on an even foot.
I agree. I think, again, though, it comes down to which the teams can dust themselves down and just say, okay, let's take this one round at a time. Everything that's happened up until this point is irrelevant. We know what we have to do. We have to hit 19 rounds first, and then we win. So let's see. ESC, again, they had a fantastic CT side. Even though we're in overtime, remember, they lost the first half, what was it, 11-4? So they had a solid showing on their CT side. That being said, so did PiTER. So it's just going to come down to who has the better strats for me on the T side, who can just punch through on those sites and not just get the bomb planted, but stop the retake as well.
Yeah. ESC's CT side actually looked to me a bit better than PiTER's. Like, it's at the start, they were hitting all their shots. There was no chance for PiTER on these rounds until the very end, where they started to crumble just a bit. The money collapsed near the end, and they were able to save to bring it into OT. Here we go, set play onto this A bomb site though. Molotov holding Waterfalls back from the rest of his team. Maddie thinking about pushing into that smoke, and he will go and get one. Spiker though going to bring him down through it. Another player on the stairs above Spiker. 2 trying to retake from CT. FaZeCrack will grab one of them. This is a hard position to hold. I'll back off a little bit so as not to be seen by this player on the stairs. Does Spiker know another one is in there? Starting to spam those boards. Will be brought down though by Tessic. 3-on-2 now in favor of the terrorists holding on to this bomb site. Waterfalls is even lurking around. Now Tessic on the other side of the boards. Wow, this guy just tenacious. Tessic holding on. 1-on-2 now, and finally brought down through the corner of the box.
Something that I'm scratching my head over here, and I'm not sure if I'm just bugging in game. Dursky didn't buy a primary weapon that round. He had a Glock. He ran into battle with a candy apple Glock, and that was it. I even switched to him to make sure that I wasn't seeing things. I don't know what that was all about, but they still won the round. I don't really understand that. There's no reason you get $10,000 at the start of the round. Yeah, honestly, he didn't. He didn't have anything other than a Glock. You can see now, even with the buy-up, he's got 6.3k, and he died in that previous round. So I don't understand what the idea there was. Maybe he just forgot.
Forgot, yeah. It's like, all right, let's go, boys. Too busy making the call. Forgot to buy. Oh, Tessic takes a point of damage from that smoke. Put it over the wall, and he's gonna go down. Beautiful flashes and pushing through that smoke. PiTER. Oh, and now who is this? JMQA can't even tell who he's fighting here in the smoke. And I can see everything. My Neo is who that was, and the terrorist able to get past, holding on close to the wall. Oh, reload does not quite reload in time. Actually, he would have been dead if it wasn't for Waterfalls.
This is such a good start, though, from PiTER. It seems something's clicked. Yeah, he is going to be saving this AWP. And, well, you can understand why. You look at their economy, it's not fantastic. So this AWP could be massive. They can just cling on to a round. They got a chance, but I don't really understand what's happened here, because PiTER were getting smashed. As you said before, ESC were landing their shots. They were setting up perfectly. They were repelling the Ts, and then suddenly in the last, what, 6 or 7 rounds that we've been casting on their T side, they've just been dominating. It's been dominant performances, keeping 4 or 5 players alive.
Sometimes it only takes one round. Like, they're winning everything. They're thinking they're immortal. Then they lose a round, and they are reminded, oh, yeah, we still can lose rounds. And something just changes. You don't quite move out with that same confidence. Oh, face crack.
God.
Oh, face crack. Please get knifed.
Really?
Repo doesn't do anything. He's chilling. He's like, man, this couch is so comfortable. I mean, someone's even delivered me tea.
And he shoots at the end just to let them know.
Let them know, yeah.
The BM is real. I love that. The ninja plays are not shooting. He could have got that kill, but it's not worth the trade because then the other player who was coming around from pit is just going to rush him and pick up that AWP. So smart. And maybe, who knows, if Neeks lands a couple of AWP shots, you can almost say Repo was one of the top players for ESC in this overtime.
Yeah, that can make the difference. Also goes to show just how, like, everyone in OT starts with 10K. You lose 2 rounds, and you already have to save it with CT side. Like, that really puts in, like, how important the economy is to me in perspective. If your friend doesn't believe you, trying to teach your friend CS, he's like, nah, money doesn't matter on CT side. Point to this OT, and now you've got a 4-on-1 here as PiTER just running over everything, and a team that was barely able to get what was it, 4 rounds that they needed? And barely getting them in the end. Here, getting into OT, maybe it was just the fact that they were running so broke on so many rounds. But they dominate once they get full buys in their hands. They win every single round on T side.
Yeah. And I even remember it saying at one point that out of 11 rounds on PiTER's T side, they only won 1. So again, it goes to show that the second quarter of that half, if you will, was all one-sided in PiTER's favour. And then this overtime has been anything but even. It's just been blowout performances. ESC, they're not out just yet, but remember, if you just join us, it is 1-0 to PiTER. They won the first map of Cash, 16-10 I think it was in the end, 16-11, somewhere around that. And now ESC, they have to win all 3 rounds here, Helium, or they're out. They are dead and buried in this tournament.
With the way OT seems to go when I'm around, I will not be surprised if ESC Gaming grab all of these terrorist rounds. It could very well come down to this, and there it is. You know, if Waterfall's got that shot, that's probably the game, but it's Neeks who picks it up and still alive. Dursky trying to jump over this smoke, blocking him off. James Dewey actually fries one player, shoots, and now they're only to be killed by face crack. He doesn't care whose face it is. He just needs to crack it. And in this case, it was his teammate.
He's an equal opportunities face cracker.
Yeah, exactly.
He cares. He cares not. It was very unfortunate, though, in fairness. He was spraying through the smoke on short. I don't know if there was a lack of communication there, but very, very unlucky. All things considered, 15 to 18, the scoreline. 55 seconds, a 3-on-3. ESC need to connect the dots. 2 players pretty low, Neeks and Myneo. Not fantastic. And look at this. They're going to take every second at their disposal. The bomb still only just about to move through mid, which is where Neeks is residing with the AWP. It's really going to come down to that next pick I've got to feel here, Helium. If the CTs get this next fragger, I feel that that's game, set, and match.
Looks like they want to go catwalk to B. They had the flashes coming in from the other side to try to clear it. They can push up onto it, but there is Spiker. He'll bring down Myneo and bring down Neeks. Essig? I was going to say, can he possibly do this 1v3? He's trying to get back up onto the catwalk, and Dursky grabs it from the window, and, well, it was not super convincing, at least until the OT on that T side. But I don't know, close mirage, and I feel all right. My prediction was 2-0 PiTER, but a pretty close 2-0. So we had what? It was 16-10 and then a 19-15. I think that defines as close.
Yeah, I was completely off. I thought it would go to a third map. I thought both maps would be close and we'd see Train. And up until a point, I was like, okay, I'm feeling good about this when we saw the CT performance from ESC, but you saw that PiTER again, when it came down to those pressure situations, PiTER rose to the top. They deserved the win after all of the crazy action that we saw back and forth.
So, winner of this, obviously being PiTER, will move on to face Epsilon Esports, the French organization comprised of mainly Spaniards up against PiTER for the lower bracket round of 3. That'll move them, winner of that will go to the lower bracket finals, which will contain either LDLC White or Mortal Kombat, which is former G-Play. that's still waiting to be played. I think a day or two from now, because LDLC White obviously traveled to ESWC and are now traveling back. So we'll have the winter bracket finals soon. Obviously, we'll get through lower bracket round of 3 as well. But for Europe today, that is going to be all. And tonight in North America, North America's on a bit of a hiatus right now for some other reasons. But anyways, we don't need to talk about that. That's all we've got for today. So hopefully you enjoyed the match there. For those of you viewers tuning in, unfortunately, we didn't get to see that third map train. You'll have to wait another day for more CS action on mlg.tv/playcevo, where I've been Helium, and with me, Metuz. You got anything else to say before we depart?
Oh, just a pleasure as always. I think the next game's coming up in 2 days. So until then, we'll catch you guys later.
All right, peace out, guys.